Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 4 of Bronc Breakdown. I'm your host, Patrick Jaffe, along with Thomas.
Hello.
And Xavier.
Hello.
We are the Bronc Breakdown crew, and this is episode 4. Springtime, we're getting well into April, semester's winding down. That means it's softball season. We have a great softball team here at Rider. We want to talk about them today and mention their greatness. Started off things a little rough. They're 12-22 overall. Started 2-4 in conference, but if you're aware, it's winning time. They're on a 6-game winning streak, and that is after losing 9 games in a row. And they look to continue that winning streak with a doubleheader versus Marist on Saturday, and then a doubleheader versus Siena on Sunday. Things are looking good for the Rider Broncs as they get into conference play. And so after that losing streak that ended at Seton Hall, they come home April 11th, doubleheader against Morgan State, and they win. And 2 wins against Monmouth in Manhattan since. That's their 6-game winning streak, and they've been looking good. And I guess the point I'm trying to make, the most important driving factor of this winning streak has been their defense. They've been playing great defense. 5 of their 6 games during this winning streak, they've allowed 2 runs or less, with the only time allowing over was an 11-7 win versus Monmouth. And so, like I said, they're 12-22 overall, 2-4 in conference. It's been their defense driving this winning streak. So, Thomas, who's the player who's really leading them on defense?
So basically, there's always going to be a pitcher who is standing up above the rest, and their name is Jessie Nagoski. And she just had a monstrous game against Morgan State a couple days ago. She struck out 13 players on 19 at-bats, and she only gave up 1 run against the Bears.
And then how about, because obviously she's been playing well during this winning streak, but she's so far pieced together a nice season overall.
Yeah, she's also hitting a lot on offense too, hitting a couple home runs, getting some hits in there. She's a great two-way player.
Yeah, and then for the season, 80 strikeouts to only 67 hits, that's a pretty good ratio, and she's definitely been the driving factor on defense so far this year. But on the offensive side, you need to score runs to win games, so who's been leading the charge for them in that, Xavier?
There's a key player. Everyone has a key player to play a role in. And I believe Olivia Burrows has been leading the offense for this team as well. She has been a very key part of this team this year, leading the offense with 27 hits and also with 20 RBIs. So she's also a key factor of this now new win streak they've been having after their game of Seton Hall.
So yeah, things have been looking better as of late on both sides of the ball. And Thomas, like we mentioned before, this winning streak started with a doubleheader versus Morgan State. What happened in that game that kind of sparked this winning streak?
There was just something going on between riders, mental abilities when it came to that game. They were on fire. They were hitting balls. They were doing everything that they could on the field, working very hard, especially since Morgan State is the number 1 team in the MEAC right now with a 19-15 record, 11-2 in conference. I know a couple friends on Morgan State too, and I know they can hit. They hit a lot in high school, but they just weren't connecting on anything today or during that game.
It all started with Jessie on the mound.
Yes, all started with her on the mound. All started with Olivia Burrows hitting a home run in the second game. And it was just a great 9-1 victory for the first game. Yeah,
so, slow start to the season, but things are looking good for our Rider Bronc softball team. So we get into conference play, get into May, getting towards the conference tournament. Currently sitting 7th in conference, but I think they can move themselves up and get themselves into a good seed going into the conference tournament if they keep up the great defense and with solid at-bats. In terms of RPI, they're 254th. They're not this great team, but certainly in the MAC, I think they can move up. Some tough opponents versus Canisius and Siena, they're ranked 113th and 130th respectively in the country. But I think Rider has the talent to hang with them. And certainly with the momentum on their side, I think our Rider Bronc softball team can make a lot of noise in conference postseason. So that's all we have for you today. Thanks for breaking it down with us. Thanks for tuning in, and see you next time.